world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today I am giving you my top 5 picks for beginning tarot decks. So people who are just interested in doing this, they want to get their own deck, what should they buy? Because there are so many on the market. So I want to give you my top 5 and reasons why I think they're great or not great or room for improvement, things like that. And then you can decide which is right for you. So pick number 5. This is Universal Weight Tarot deck, but this is just like generic for any Rider-Waite deck. These are traditional decks. They have traditional imagery on them. And a lot of people will suggest that this is what you start off with because this is the basis of all the other decks. So I agree with that. However, the cons of this is, first of all, this is my first deck and I got it it's a US Games deck. Gosh, I got it sometime in the 90s, I think. So I can't even tell you what the book is like with this. Some of them have good books, some of them have bad books, but you know what? There's a lot of support online that you can find for the meanings of the cards. I had to go elsewhere to find the meanings of the cards when I first started. So the cons to this deck, even though it's traditional, they have some cards that are kind of yeah, that's a lot to take in. So like the Devil, there's also nudity in these. The Tower, a lot of people are afraid of both of these cards, and also Death. So these are 3 cards that people are afraid of. The meanings of them, it's just stuff that goes on in life. It's not really things to be afraid of, but a lot of people can get just really wrapped up in this kind of imagery. So that would be the downside of it, even though it is the traditional stuff. However, the other 4 decks that I'm going to show you are based off of the Rider-Waite. They're just like maybe a little bit kinder with some of this imagery. We also have like Judgment. People are coming out of coffins. The Hanged Man. This guy is like being crucified upside down. I mean, that's not the meaning of it. I'm just saying, like, a beginner coming and looking at this deck, it's a little overwhelming. And even the Wheel of Fortune here, there are a lot of symbols on this that can be, like I said, overwhelming. We've got these are actually 4 zodiac signs, but then we've got Anubis and the Sphinx, and then this snake is also an Egyptian god. So we bounce between Adam and Eve kind of, so like this Christian imagery to Egyptian. And then there's also cards like this where you're just laying on the ground with swords stuck in your back. And then again, the Star, which is actually like the meaning of it is really fantastic. It's really a beautiful card, but there's nudity in this deck as well, even though some of these are more descriptive on that nudity than others. But this is just a traditional deck. I will link, because I can't remember the name of it, below. There's a Rider-Waite deck that is all of this imagery, but it's more diverse. Modern Witch Tarot deck is the one that is Rider-Waite that I would really recommend, but I don't have it. So I just wanted to show you this. So number 5 is any Rider-Waite deck. I would recommend for beginners is the Light Sears Tarot. So I like this deck because it comes with this really nice sturdy box. It also has this guidebook, which is very good. It has Light Seer, Shadow Seer. So these are, if you want to do reversals, that would be the Shadow Seer. Reversals is when you shuffle the cards if they come upside down. What I like about this deck is it's more contemporary imagery. It is also more diverse. So I like it because you can kind of, you're seeing images of people that there's aspects of them that you might recognize in your life. There's diversity here, and it's just really, really pretty artwork. And we get to some of the more, see, look how beautiful this is. And this too, like I said, it was more contemporary. There's a motorcycle here, which I like that. She's got a nose ring, and then it's just, it's just more modern. This devil card is probably the most nudity that you're going to see in the deck, which I think is important because a lot of people who are starting off, like if you have teenagers who are asking about tarot, you don't want to give them a deck full of naked people and crazy concepts. Death is another one of those kind of scary cards, but they named it Death and Rebirth here. So, and then the star is usually depicted nude, but she is fully clothed here. And then again, the diversity. And then these two, like this is the most nudity that you're going to see. So that's why I would recommend this, because it is beautiful. It's a nice size. It comes with a great book. And then it's all contained in this nice box for a price point of about $25. So my third pick is probably going to be a little bit of a surprise. This is Starman Tarot. It is by David DeAngelis. It is inspired by the artwork that David DeAngelis created for David Bowie. This is David Bowie here. So if you are into like this really bright artwork, or you've got like this rock and roll attitude, or you really like David Bowie, this is going to be a good deck for you. So I like it and I recommend it as a beginner because it's a whole kit. Like, look how nice this is. Oh, my book is upside down. I did it on purpose though because I didn't want to fray the edges. But this book is amazing. It is so good. It is so detailed. It also has the reversals here if you want to learn how to do reversals. It brings in such a rich description of each one of these cards. And I'll show you the artwork a little bit more in a minute, but it is so good. Like even if you are an intermediate or you've been reading tarot for a long time, I really, really recommend that book. So here's what the box looks like. And then the cards here, they're tall, they're nice big cards. And then here's, I have them shuffled so upright and reverse. So the cards are very, like there's a lot going on in these cards so that you can get a lot of information from looking at them. So the con with this isn't like this is the Ten of Pentacles. It isn't like it's based off of the Rider-Waite, but it's not, and it's pretty good, but I mean there's a lot more going on with it. So I would say it's a little bit more of a intermediate deck, but if you are really, really interested in learning and you love this artwork, like it just really speaks to you, the book is so, so good. And that's why I like it. But there is nudity. So if that doesn't bother you, so I would recommend this for like a more mature audience. But it is really, really nice deck. It's really put together well. I love it. And but you have to like really like this kind of artwork, and it has to kind of speak to you. So that is number 3. So my number 2 pick for beginners is Everyday Witch Tarot. This is probably my favorite deck ever. It is really great for beginners for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's just like the Starman Tarot. It is a whole kit here. So you open this up and you have a book. It's a color book. The descriptions here are very, very nice as to what's going on. But the artwork in this deck is so good too. All of the cards are labeled. So King of Swords, you know exactly what it is, which card you're getting, and it is more contemporary. This is the Hierophant. Traditionally, this is depicted as kind of like the Pope, but it is here like a yoga master, yoga guru. This deck also features cats, like every single card has a cat on it. So if you like animals, here's what it looks like on the back. This deck is for you. Let's see, some of the more difficult cards, I didn't pull them out before. Let's see if I can find them. Something like the Knight of the Nine of Swords. The reason I say that the Knight of Swords is because it's usually this woman, there's these swords like above her and she's having a sleepless night. But these are also very like softer cards, I would say, because you've got the sun coming up. So it's kind of like darkest before the dawn kind of thing. So that's what I like about it too, is the descriptions are a little bit easier instead of like the traditional Hanged Man here. There we go. Okay, so the traditional Hanged Man here is like being crucified upside down. That's a little softer, a little easier to swallow kind of thing. And Death is more of like a Phantom of the Opera type character. One door closes, another opens. So the imagery is really intuitive and it's really easy to follow. So I just love this deck. There's also the added benefit, like the star is usually depicted naked. She's clothed here. So I like that everything is PG. It's a really great deck for beginners. The Ten of Swords, it still has somebody with 10 swords stuck in their back, but you can see like she's reaching, you know, there's just like hope behind these cards versus like the hopelessness that you see in the other one. And the other difficult card, let's see if I can find it real quick, is a lot of people have issues with, is the Tower. And in this deck, it's more of a sense of, see, like the Tower is like this huge transformational moment where everything is falling down around you. And in this deck, you have a sense, here we go, almost the last card. You have a sense that you are the one taking the tower down, rather than it's something that is happening to you, rather than it is lightning hitting the tower. Like you're the one doing it. Like you're the one taking more control of the situation, which I like. It's very nice. So this is my number 2 pick. Absolutely fantastic deck. Highly, highly recommend. And my number 1 pick for beginners is Angel Wisdom Tarot by Bradley Valentine. It's probably not one that you've heard of. It's not one of the sexier decks that people talk about, which is the reason why I have it here, because there's no nudity in this deck either. The cards are very large, so that is either a pro or a con for you, because it is kind of difficult to shuffle. There is a very nice, it's black and white, but it's very nice detailed book that goes with it. I like this deck, because this is the Hanged Man, but he renames things like Awakening. And then the reason I recommend this for beginners is you don't even need to open the book. It has keywords here on each card to tell you what each card means. And but it's richer than that. There's more going on, because it's Angel Wisdom Tarot. This C over here in the corner, and every card except for the court cards has this. It relates back to an angel. So it brings in like a greater depth of understanding. Release, this is death. So see, this is so much nicer. Even though it means exactly the same thing, endings that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situations or people that hold you back, spiritual transformation. But it's just such like a very sweeter version of it, which is why I say this is perfect for beginners. So transformation, this is the Tower card. Ego, this is the Devil. And I like this because the Devil is about, well, I'll just read here. Illusion of being trapped, accept responsibility for your situation, and then make choices that support your path to happiness, addictions, or unhealthy habits. So the meaning of ego is the exact same thing as devil. It's just a little bit easier to take because he renamed the card and it's really appropriate. The name is super appropriate. But then he also has Archangel Michael coming in here and helping you. So it's all about solutions too, which is what really nice. Wise counselor, this is the Hierophant. Like, nobody knows what that means, but you know what a wise counselor means. And balance, this is temperance. So again, like, what the heck does temperance mean? Oh, it means balance. Okay, well then in this deck they just he names it balance. It's also, we have diversity in the cards, which is nice. Renewal, so this is judgment, and the dreamer is the Fool. So it's a really easier, much easier to understand. There's also the cards tie together very nicely, and I like the way that he does this. This is an ace, this is a page, so the ace grows up to be a page. They're also color coded, so these are earth, which is pentacles, and all of these cards are green, while other cards are, this is another one, I just threw it in here to show like the diversity here, because we do have a girl in a wheelchair, and the world is really pretty. Okay, so then color coded, so this, all of the fire cards are red, and we've got blue, red, like this purpley, and green. So those are nice on the minor arcanas. And then the major arcanas are the brown, kind of like the outside. So the other thing that is really cool about this deck that I love, because there's different layers here. So you can start picking things up as you're ready for it. Like, you start to begin and you can just go off of these keywords and you will be fine. But then you notice that this is the 8 of air. It has a number here. This is 12. So this is a minor arcana card, but it relates to the 12 card in the major arcana, which is awakening. So it kind of gives you an idea that these two cards are connected in some way, and it gives you like a better understanding of the cards, like once you're ready to start delving into that. Then you can see on the corner of these cards, it relates to an archangel, which is C. So the archangel is actually present here in this picture. And you don't know what the archangel is? That's when you can go to the book. And I really like Radley Valentine's stuff because he has done a lot of things related to angels. The other thing is once you buy this, if you take your receipt to his website, he has like a 60-minute tutorial on this deck. And he has a YouTube channel where he reads with this deck every week, so you can see it in action. So here's the associated archangels, and if you know your archangels, then you would know that C is Shamuel, and obviously that's what I like about this deck, because you can grow with it. Like, I've been reading tarot for a while, and I need to look up what C means, right? Because I'm not as familiar with my archangels as I am the cards. So that's what I really like about it, because it's so like layered that you can get more and more out of it as you grow with it and use it. So that is my number one pick for beginner deck, and that is Angel Wisdom Tarot. And also the price point is like right at $25. So it's just easy and nice and colorful and very layered in meaning, and very well put together. And Radley Valentine supports it with, like I said, his website and his YouTube videos that he does. And I just think it's like this is, if I were going to get a gift for somebody who showed interest, this is what I would give them, is Angel Wisdom Tarot, because I think it's the best beginner deck, which is why it's my number one. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.